How y'all doing today? I wanted to come today to show y'all a few trades. Big time stocks, J stocks coming at you. The first stock I wanted to show you was the Walmart chart, but I wanted to say first that on these particular videos I will not be covering a lot of details of the basics. So if you want to learn how to actually trade and what we're actually doing, we are offering these classes. BT opportunities dot space, so it's BTOPP dot space, and you'll be able to either call the phone number right now. You just call the phone number, leave a message if we don't answer. Let us know that you're interested in getting the class, and we will get you basically on the list where you will be the first one to get this training as soon as it is released. So it is on the way, and we want to get as many people as involved as possible in this training, especially yes, those of us who are African American, things that we don't know a lot about it sometimes or different things. And we say that in the society, but I don't want to get anybody rubbed the wrong way. But it's just a reality that a lot of us sometimes don't know some things about the stock market and different things. And that's not to say that other people know everything, but it's just us making an observation about ourselves. So we talk about that anyway. But anyway, not to get on the soapbox about that, but we're just offering that class. So just know that you can definitely get it and learn about the stock market, um, and get the basics, and then you can also get deeper training by some of the ones who are that taught me. So we'll look at that as we go. But I just wanted to give you an idea so you can see what I did yesterday with the Walmart trade. I wanted you to check this out, and it is I'm over here making mistakes and moving lines, but look, we're gonna look at this particular trade and this particular one on, you see, a 406 at 9:45. It was around 9:42 when I got into this trade, so I bought it right around somewhere around 120 range. It was like 120 how much the stock was worth, but I did option, so it was an option, it was a call. Um, and basically, what ended up happening is I got in about right here, and as you can see, the stock begins to rise, and then it drops here, and it continues to rise. Now, I figured that it had a nice area to continue to rise, but I allow emotions. Sometimes that happens. You gotta be solid about what you decide, but I allow my emotions to pull out here. But I still within this write up, I got 42% return on my money. So it was a good trade. Sometimes you take that money and you get out and do what you can do. There's no really place else I know of that you can just make 42% off your money. This particular trade, I made that in about 10 to 15 minutes, and that was it. So I just wanted you to see that particular one. Now, on the next one, I'm going to start labeling the things that I'm talking about and what I'm doing more so that you can kind of get a little bit more of an understanding of what I'm saying. But if you never traded, if you don't know anything about it, if you never took class, you probably won't know what I'm saying completely. But if you've already been in the trading or after you take the class and then you watch this video, you will know more about what I'm talking about. But that's what happened with this trade. I want you to also see um another place. This is a trade that actually got in, and so we were looking at this particular trade, and let's see if we can get to where we were today. Um Now this one, when I looked at it, I thought that it had, which this is basically my wrist. If you see here, you can't see it good because it has been covered now by candlesticks. But this was where we had a buy-in. You see, it says buy-in in there. It's probably hard to see, but this is where buy-in was at around this area. It was pointing to this area right up in here, and so looking at it to have a good space to go short, and looking at the risk from where the buy-in was toward the reward. That's kind of what we looked at to decide. And it didn't quite do exactly this one. I wanted to show you guys because sometimes that's happened, but you pay attention to the trade, you look at it, and it didn't exactly pull all the way where I wanted to, and it's even created some more places of support, but it didn't pull all the way where I wanted to. But the risk is not much, and I can decide what I want to do if I want to risk it up to that point, and then or just continue to see what it's going to do. And so I'm going to watch this particular trade closely and let us see what it's going to do for tomorrow, and let you guys see what happens with this particular trade. So it's still right now incomplete. Now I want you to also to see the quicker trade. I thought this was a nice stock that I saw the other day. And if you'll see where I started looking at, you'll see this is the buy-in area here. You see a buy-in was somewhere around 124, and the risk was somewhere around 122. But the up place, I was looking at that it had a possibility of hitting like 138. But it ended up hitting 135. Now, within this particular trade, was riding this up and riding it up and riding it up, and then looking at uptrend. So, right in this play, it's had an uptrend, and so with those uptrends, you're looking at when it breaks the uptrend to know that time to really for you, or at least for me, I'm saying my decision is to get out when it breaks too much over the uptrend that I've drawn. So that's what this line is called. If you see, it's called an uptrend line right there. And so you'll see I labeled it for you so you know what it is. And when it broke that, I felt it was time to jump out of that trade and go in and get what you can get. And it's still from the point of buy-in to there went from 124.88 to about the time to get it out about 133.74 or somewhere around 74 um 79 somewhere around there. So that was a nice move in points, and it still was going to yield you the money, and it was a nice trade to see and find. Next trade. The next trade was this trade here. Let's see. This particular one, it would have been possible that the buy-in would have been around here, but I wasn't confident within what was going on in this situation. So I put new resistance because that's kind of where it looked like it may stop or not want to get past here, and so I would have bought in if this like had convincingly to me broke new resistance, which it didn't. It does. You have to be careful just because it goes a little bit over the line or a little bit higher than where you may particularly think. That is not necessarily saying that you need to jump in right away. Sometimes you have to give it time to develop, and that's what I did here. And I saw that it turned around and then went ahead and dropped. So it was a good thing that I was paying attention to it to watch to know that this particular reward that I was looking for versus risk was not going to happen in this trade today. And one that I liked, it was randomly asked about like, hey, do auto insurances or different insurance places have stocks? I'm like, yeah, they sure do. It depends on which one, but most of them do that are, big. And so I was looking and I wanted to pull up one. And so when I pulled up one, I was like, wow, wait a minute. I said, this has a nice chance to go short on a put, the option, etc. Now, at this point, we calculated the risk versus reward. We were somewhere at this point looking at, I think actually, we were looking at this level or this level, one of these levels that we were looking at the point, and I think it was this one, but we was looking at it early on to get into it. So it was around here in the area where we were looking to decide like whether we wanted to get in to trade or not. And then when I actually looked at the um buying point, here, I was calculating to see exactly what um possibly be the reward, etc. And I think if we're not mistaken, these numbers, etc., will make this number particularly maybe a little bit over, but I will explain that I think in the next video because I know we were calculating earlier on, so I know we was looking at getting in a little earlier, and then we calculate them at different times, so that's why they're a little bit different. But here I saw particularly where I would probably would have bought in charting wise. I felt that it would drop to around this point, and it did basically exactly what I felt like it would do. And sometimes, especially when you're early on, it's just good to just get your feet well, especially in charting. But the reality is, it's going to be a lot different when you put that money on the table. Like on some of the trades where I put the money on the table, and then having that same confidence to ride that out to the points where you think it's going to hit, or the points where you think it is time to take your money, etc., or it's time to jump out because your risk has been hit. Like those are going to be the important times that are going to keep you ahead when you are trading, because you're obviously going to lose some money in some trades. Like you're not going to win every trade. Now there's some people who are way better. One of my top guys that basically gave me information was 18-1 at one time. Like I don't know what he is now, but he was 18-1, meaning that he had 18 trades go the way he said he was, and only one that didn't. So you can get pretty efficient at doing trading, but it does take time and it takes effort and a little learning to do. But you need to start somewhere and get the information. That's why we want to offer you guys the classes through our company, BT Opportunities. So just make sure that you hit us up and let us know about that if you're interested. Other than that, I think that's the trades for today. Tomorrow we'll have a few more things that we'll check back to on the one trade that I was talking about that we wanted to look at, and then other than that, that's it for today. This is Big Time Stocks, J Stocks. I hope y'all have a good one. Talk to y'all next time.